up, guys? So change of scenery here. They're doing privates in the other room, so we're in the kickboxing room right now. Got a little bit of break from the classes this month, so we're kind of going through some requested stuff. We had a request to do side control escapes, so today we're going to cover knee on belly escapes, and then a basic side control recovery, and how to get your frames in when they got you like fully pinned on the ground. Okay, so the first thing we're looking at here is knee on belly escape. So there's two ways they can hold it: regular knee on belly and then shin on belly. The only difference is going to be where your inside hand goes. There's going to be a slight variation depending on which one they have. So right now we're going to cover a basic knee on belly escape here. So my partner's got a knee on belly. First thing I'm going to do is take this outside hand, cross lat post. This kind of keeps them from pressuring more into me and taking side control. This inside hand, if it's regular knee on belly, you can have it monitoring the cross face, so if she's coming in, I monitor, or you can have it already underneath this foot right here. I prefer the monitoring version because more than likely they're going to try to get a cross face on you, so realistically you're going to have it up here. So I'm going to have my cross lat post, monitoring the cross face. This inside leg here, my right one, is just going to go in her tailbone, and I'm going to use the left leg here as a drive leg. I'm going to look to wipe her over my head, so I'm going to bump forward. When I do that, this left or right hand, the inside one, can now scoop underneath the leg. Cross lat post will change to a cross hamstring post, and then I'm just going to bring my legs in here and look to slide underneath. From here, you can keep the legs pinched and maybe wrestle up, or you can look to fire this outside leg over and start going into your foot lock attacks from here. So I'll show the, now we're gonna do the basic knee on belly again. She's gonna have basic knee on belly. I'm gonna do my cross lat post. I'm gonna look to bump her forward, blocking the cross face if they are. Bump forward, switch my right hand to the foot here. Left hand goes behind the hamstring, and then I'm just gonna look to pendulum myself underneath, and you can either pinch the legs and maybe wrestle up, or just fire this one straight over and start going into your leg attack entries. Now we're going to look at the shin on belly variation. It'll be pretty quick because it's kind of the same thing, just a small change in the grips. So I'm here, she has me in shin on belly. Now take my cross lat post. The only thing different is I can't get under the foot because she's laying on it. So the right hand is just gonna hook on the hip. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, cross lat post, look to bump and wipe. As soon as I do, right hand comes under the foot, left hand goes behind the far hamstring, and I'm gonna do the same thing where I pendulum myself under, and then you can go straight into your backside 50-50 entry for the win. Okay, so now we're going to look at the side control portion of this. So we're first going to look to get in our far frame. So if I'm laying here and she has me in a full side control, this arm and this arm, if she's a high level person, she's going to be closing off the space between her head and her shoulder right here. If she doesn't, I can just put this frame in place, but she's going to be closing it off, so I can't just put it in place. So I need to look to get, I usually try to get this arm in first, because once you do, it's easier to do everything else. You have more power with your bridges and exposure. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bridge and take my bicep here on the top of her head. If I just bridge into her neck, it's not really going to do anything. So I need to get her head away from her shoulder by bridging towards the top here. Take my hand, and I'm just going to swim thumb down back through and place my hand here on the far shoulder. That's it. I'm gonna stay here. You don't wanna start extending with this, because if she takes her right arm here through, then now you're in a worse situation. So I see people make that mistake a lot. They get this in and start pushing away with it, and then someone good just exposes that, and now you're in a much worse position. So I just hold the shoulder here and keep this tight so she can't do that. So I'll show again. She's got everything in tight, can't just put it in. So I'm gonna look to take my left hand here and bridge and expose the space. Just take it back around and right here. Okay, so she got me in the pin again. Next thing we're gonna look at to do is maybe you can't bridge. Like this person's just way too heavy, or they're being too heavy on you. I can't bridge. So I'm gonna look to go this way towards you guys, and I'm gonna shoot my arm and my shoulder towards the camera here. So I'm gonna look to go this way on my side and shoot this forward, and this opens up the space here. Now I can't go thumb down because I'm gonna like run into my own arm here. So I need to go thumb towards the ceiling, like I'm making a fist, and just bring it in to this space, grab the shoulder, and then go flat on my back. So she's keeping it tight. I can't bridge. I'm gonna look to shoot everything towards you guys and bring my right shoulder that same direction. So I'm gonna go side and shoot, thumb up to the ceiling. If she is being so tight, I just can't run this through. You're gonna do, we call it the jiggle here, where you're just gonna give small kips like this to bring your arm through. What that does is it separates our chest just briefly, and that's enough space for you to drive this through. So as you're driving it through, you just give short little kips as you're coming back, and it'll always come through. So I'll show it one more time. She's being tight. I can't bridge. I'm gonna look to shoot everything this way, thumb up. If I can't get it in, just give short jiggles or kips on the way back over, and it'll always come through. All right, so now we're gonna look at how to get your near arm in, which is the one closest to the hip. So the terminology is kind of like far arm is, farthest away from my knee elbow here at the hip, and near arm is the one closest to. So she's gonna have her pin. We're gonna say we've already, you can already have this in across the neck. It just makes it easier. That's why I do this one first. Or it doesn't matter. You don't necessarily need it. It just makes everything easier. So I'm just gonna focus on showing this arm right now. So we're gonna kind of rotate a little bit just so you can see. So the first thing I'm gonna try and do is just give a bridge and invert my elbow. So if I try to just bridge right now and pull it in, it's probably not gonna happen because I'm running into her hip. So I need to invert my elbow out and almost parallel to the floor. So when I go to bring it in the space between her ribs and her hip, it just slides right in. So I'm gonna couple this with a bridge because obviously this space is gonna be tight and she's not gonna let me do that. So I need to get her off balance, and I'm gonna couple it with a bridge and invert, and then just pull this through and hook on the hip right here. So now you have your near side arm in. If you notice, you can also, because you're bridging, get both of these in at the same time if you want. So as I'm bridging, I can pull this one over and also get this one in, and now you've just done two birds with one stone, and you're saving time on getting out of this side control pin. So I'll show one more time here. I'm gonna bridge and invert my elbow, go parallel with the floor, and then just pull it in and come back down here flat on your back. So the theme is get our frame in, flat on our back, get our frame in, flat on our back, because it's hard for them to kind of start doing anything with me flat on my back. So I'm good here, I'm protecting my back and everything, no exposure. And then once we get all our frames in ready to escape, you'll see where we start going like into concave type positions. So now we're gonna look at what to do if maybe you've tried inverting this elbow and you just can't, it's just too tight, or maybe she's choked up where I just can't invert this. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna give her a bridge, and I'm gonna look to whip my arm in front of her knee here. So I'm gonna bridge, and then whip this down in front of her knee. If she does absolutely nothing, then I can just keep bridging and take her over because her knee's blocked. But realistically, when I go to bridge and windmill is down, she's gonna have to step her left knee over to prevent her from falling over. And when she does that, I can just pommel my hand to the inside here and get my frame in. So I have it out here. When I go to whip it down, she brings it over and I pommel my hand to the inside. You have to make sure as she's bringing it over you do this, because if you don't, then you can see, like, you might get caught in like a crucifix. So it's kind of the timing. As she's bringing her knee over, you need to go ahead and pommel to the inside. So I'm gonna have my frame out here, and when I bridge and whip it down, as she's coming over, I need to pommel this to the inside. So this is good if someone's like really choked up and you're bridging and you just can't invert, they're way too high on you. You can try to expose using a sweep to take them over to get your frame in. Okay, so now we're gonna look at, now that we've learned how to get our frames in, we're gonna look at getting our knee in and then going into our basic side control recovery. So I'm here, she's got me in side control. I'm gonna already start with my frames because I already got all of them in. So now we're gonna do the same thing we did with our arm, and we're gonna look to invert this knee, this inside knee, towards the mat. So, you know, if I try to bring it in, it's not inverted, I'm just gonna run into her hip. So I need to slightly shrimp out, and as I do that, invert my knee to the mat. So I'm gonna take my heel to the ceiling, and then I should be able to easily expose this space and get my knee and elbow together. So I'm here, she's got her side control in. I'm gonna look to give a small shrimp out this way and invert my knee. And then I'm just gonna look to insert it in and connect my knee and elbow from here. So now we can start looking to go into our escape. We're gonna look at a really basic one. So this person lets me get this inside elbow here to the inside position. So lift that up. If I get that inside, she locks her side control over it, then we can just bring everything to a concave position, and we're out. We're in our, we're starting to get into our side guard here, so we're safe from our side control pin. So let's just say we do the small shrimp out, we get this in, and for some reason our partner lets us get our elbow to the inside. Maybe she goes to readjust the lock and locks over top of my elbow. If this happens, just bring everything into a ball, the concave position. And now we're in a side guard, and we can start looking to get back in front of our partner here. So now we're gonna look at, so we got everything in, we did the shrimp out, got this in, but our partner doesn't let us get this elbow to the inside. So now we actually have to work to get this in here. So what we're gonna do, if your partner's insistent on holding this side control position after losing all these frame battles, we're gonna take our right hand, so we're gonna rotate a little so you can see. Our right hand, the one that's on the hip, and we're gonna bring it to the inside here in her armpit. Once we're here, we're just gonna look to connect, like a 10-finger grip here, and we're gonna take our left foot and just step on our right leg, the one that's inside here. And from here, it doesn't matter how strong they are, it's gonna be her lock against my body. So even if she tries to hold on strong, I can literally just step and push my leg away, and then use this 10-finger grip to push and break her lock. And once I've done that, now I can start looking to bring my knee to the inside, and now we're definitely out of side control here. So she's got us in the side control pin. We got all our frames in. We're gonna do our small shrimp, invert the knee, If she's insistent on holding this, I'm gonna look to just swim my right arm in and lock a 10-finger grip here, physically step on my own leg, and then I'm just gonna look to start extending my body away. As soon as this lock breaks, this top knee, you're just gonna swim to the inside. So now, if she tries to relock everything, I have all the inside position, and it's gonna be impossible to do. So you don't take this elbow to the inside because you've already opened the space up, so there's no need to. Like that first one, this one, you just need to get your knee to the inside, and then now you have two knees and two elbows connected. The bottom one that we had the first time, and now this one. So now you're in. You gave them no space, so you're out of your side control pin. So I'll just show one more time just so you all can kind of see. Here, shrimp out, elbow in. I'm gonna look to 10-finger grip, step, extend, get my knee in, and we can start playing from your side guard position, or you can start looking to face them and get back to like a more open guard style position.